YouTube, what the fuck is up, you buttercups? If you're watching from YouTube, if you would kindly go ahead and hit that like button, maybe figuring about subscribing, because it always helps us over here on our end, and it gives us more opportunity to give y'all more content that you want to see and that you've been seeing. So, like I said, like, follow, subscribe, and if you want to keep up to date with our shenanigans on our side, go ahead and punch that bell.
That would hurt to punch a bell.
It really would.
Like a big like if you walk up to the
Liberty Bell.
Yeah. Like that would hurt. That is a lot of bronze or whatever it's made out of. Is it bronze?
I don't know what it's made out of, but it is gonna fucking break your fingers if you punch it.
Chad, help us out. Is it made out of bronze? I'm pretty sure it's bronze. But anyway, because maybe iron.
All of y'all can do that on YouTube and Twitch and Instagram and stuff like that, but don't, because I'm not your dad.
Oh, it switched up to dad today. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was thinking granddad, but then I was like, no one listens to their granddad. They just like to hear him rant. So I just stuck with dad.
Yeah, it's kind of like the white noise that you have on in the background when you're trying to fall asleep.
Just like the parents in Charlie Brown talking. It's just
But anyway, YouTube, Twitch, everybody, today on the podcast, minus Joe, we are talking about China has recently decided that they are going to limit the amount of time that minors can play video games. And so that limit, as of right now, stands at 3 hours a week. And that's only Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It's 1 hour per day. And on national holidays. And that's it.
Yep.
No more.
That's disgusting.
That's like, so China is a communist country.
Yes, different political regime.
Different political regimes. Different a bunch of stuff. Hoppy Chopkins, sup, bro? What's going on, dude?
Sup, you lovable idiot.
So I get that it's different, but an hour. And so their whole thing is
that's not even enough for like one fucking match. Could you doing like Warzone or something?
Well, it's not even that. Like, if you think could you imagine trying to sit down and play Skyrim for only an hour a day?
Oh my God, you would get nothing done.
Nothing.
And every time you would come back to it, you'd be like, what the fuck was I doing for 30 minutes?
Yeah. It would take you like a full year to just beat the main story. Like if you're doing it an hour a day. I'm pretty sure it would
take you longer than that because, I mean, you still got to level up and everything.
Yeah. But I'm just talking if you're just like speed running the main story, it would still take like 300 hours.
It's going to take you a year.
Unless you're doing actual skips and stuff. But if you're just a casual first time going into it, you're not going to beat that game for a full ass year. Which is
especially fine since you actually have to travel at the beginning when you don't have fast travel points and everything.
Yeah. But I mean,
could you imagine trying to do it 1 hour at a time and you have to walk from Whiterun all the way to the north?
Yeah. You would just spend one day just trying to get up to the city that you need to go to.
Yeah, that
for
the
first
suck.
time. Oh, dang. I do have
Falkreach. Oh my God. Just going all the way across the map from what was it? Riften to Falkreach. Oh,
yeah. That'd be insane. It would literally take two days, I think, to do that. To walk.
It took me 2 hours just to walk it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. God, that's insane. So there's a few reports of it. I've got some reports up from a few different sources: NPR, World Economic Forum, and CNN. There's a lot more out there, but I just went with the first three ones I clicked on, to be honest. But so they're saying 3 hours a week, 1 hour. And it's only between 8 and 9. So can you imagine the server load? Just first off,
that's going to be insane. You're not going to get into any kind of matches.
No, you'll spend 20 minutes queuing.
Because you're literally having all of China log in at that time.
Yeah, all of China's youth. China has a lot of fucking people. A lot of people. What is it, 1.8 billion or something like that? If chat can double check that.
They pretty much make up a fourth of the world's entire population.
Yeah. So only between 8 and 9. And then during the same time on national holidays, so it's still just an hour on the national holiday.
Ew.
Yeah, so they're not giving them
school and everything. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, they're not giving them a day off, and so their reasoning behind it is to try to curb gaming addiction, and then also with all the microtransactions and potentially gambling kind of stuff. That's a lot of what goes into it. like their thought process behind it. And it's apparently not the first time. It was actually back in 2019. They imposed a rule, and I don't know how much this actually stuck because I haven't done enough research on it. But where people under 18 can only play for a maximum of 90 minutes per day. But that was just per day. Like that wasn't limiting it to weekends.
I mean, that was fine per day. It's like, yeah, this sucks, but you're minors.
Yeah.
Can't really say anything. Like for
Deal with
minors in China, is it 18 under or is it 16 under?
They're saying 18 and under there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Like, so those under 18 can access online games only on Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays, and only between 8 p.m. and 9 p.m. And so,
I feel like we're going to have illegal gaming rings in China now.
yeah. Well, and so there was another, let's see. Jesus Christ, Hoppy. Let's see. Sarah News. One of the articles was talking about. So part of it is like they have to use their real names and real ages to sign up for said stuff so they can track it. And then so they're pressuring the game developers to help monitor this.
Game developers can't really do that.
In China, they can.
I mean, if they're stationed in China, sure, but
well, so and that's what it is.
Kinda, yeah.
So there's two main ones. Like there's two big ones, right? There's so Tencent, which they did Call of Duty Mobile, and then NetEase, which I don't know what they did, but whatever. So those are like the two big ones, right? And so
yeah, I mean, they could enforce it in China, but anywhere else, that's breaking international law. So I'm pretty sure there's a law against that.
Oh, is there really?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's an international law against people like having to reveal their personal information in duress, which this would be in duress because the game company's basically forcing you to do it.
At the same time, are like the UN or the US or whoever going to sanction China over video games?
Like, no, but at the same time, they're not going to sit there and be like, yeah, our citizens are not going to do that because that leaves a very open cybersecurity attack option.
Yeah. And so Tencent and NetEase both put out statements, and this is the most, well, you can tell that they are Chinese companies out of this. No. And I'm not saying it's like bad English or anything. What I'm just saying is like the wording choice here is
yeah, the government's like hey, yeah, put this out.
So Tencent said, we believe in healthy gameplay and take very seriously the physical and mental health of minors. We appreciate the guidance and instruction from the relevant regulators and will work hard to be in full compliance with all rules relating to youth game addiction and content regulation.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. And then NetEase also just said very simply, though, they're going to strictly follow the rules and instructions. And then we will continue our efforts to deliver more quality games and promote a healthy and responsible gaming environment for minor players as we speak to build and promote a wholesome gaming environment in China, which I can understand trying to seek and build a wholesome gaming environment. But I
can understand that, but that just limit it to weekends and national holidays, like that's not healthy at all.
No,
because now you're forcing these kids to just suffer through school with no kind of outlet.
Yeah, like it's nothing
at all.
Basically, all work, no play when you get home.
Which, I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, but Asian countries are no racism or anything intended here, but they're kind of like that, all work and no play.
Well, so yeah, there's definitely a culture difference between, like, hey, you got to work really, really, really hard all the time, and then you're not gonna
that's why Japan literally has a suicide bridge and a suicide forest.
Unfortunately, I mean, it's tough to say, but like you're not wrong. Like, I mean, there's something to be said, and we talked about this before in our mental health issues podcast of like how gaming is an outlet, and how it helps to reduce stress, and then a lot of times too, Kate was mentioning it helps with like cognitive abilities and just like hand-eye coordination.
And like hand-eye coordination and stuff like that. Like gaming can be a plus. I get where they're coming from, where they like too much gaming is bad, but you got to quantify that. You can't just say too much gaming is bad, so we're going to limit it to 1 hour here, 1 hour there. But it's like, okay, but what type of games do these kids play?
Yeah.
Do they play like Skyrim? Do they play like Monster World Hunter, Monster Hunter World, or do they play Warzone or something like that? If there was someone playing Apex, yeah, I could see like giving them an hour or two in their curfew, and since they're a communist state, they can do this, giving them like an hour or two just to play the game and have fun if they're doing just Apex. But if I got a kid that's over here playing Monster Hunter World or like Skyrim or a fighting game, they would need more time because that those games, like open world games and stuff like that, they take more time because they're open world. You have to traverse through those games, which is some of the relaxing effects of it, but at the same time, it takes time for those games. Then on the other hand, you could have a kid that likes playing arcade fighters. I'd probably only give him an hour because you can go through a whole shit ton of matches in an hour in like a fighter game.
Oh yeah, I mean, so
It's like they didn't really quantify this much. They just kind of put a big old fat old label on it.
and the 2019 one, so like reading into the article some, they went a little bit more into detail about the 2019 ban that China did, where they said 90 minutes a day, which, okay, it's still a little extreme, but, whatever. And you can kind of tell that NPR is a little anti-video game on this because they're kind of for this. They said not a bad idea if you ask microtransactions, which allow gaming companies. But anyway, let me go back for a second. The 2019 measures in China also limited the monthly amount that minors could spend on microtransactions, with a maximum amount ranging from $28 to $57, depending on the child's age. And so I don't know if that's within a month. Oh yeah. The monthly amount. Yeah. So $28 to $57 a month, which, I mean, that makes sense. That absolutely makes sense.
I mean, if you're a minor, you have no business kind of spending that money unless it's your own money, which 9 times out of 10 it's not.
Yeah. But here in America, if mommy or daddy say you can use their credit card for Fortnite V-Bucks, then fuck it.
Fuck it, full send.
Yeah.
I mean, that's on mommy and daddy's in there.
Yeah.
If they say you can do it, I mean, that's their parenting problem.
And I think like what we're ultimately kind of coming to here is like here in America, that's kind of on the parents to regulate, right? So like, yeah, if a parent wants to,
as it should be, it's their children.
And so, yeah, because it's their children, but it's clearly very different in China. Because I mean, that's like the entire government, like of China, the entire nation is like, nah, you're playing for an hour. And that's it.
Which is kind of funny because when I lived in Barbados for a while with my grandparents, Barbados had a curfew on TV for children.
Really?
So the TV would actually, like any kids show, well, any channels and stuff like that. If you had a minor in your house, the stations would actually cut off like all those stations at 10 o'clock during the school semesters. During summer year, it was full rain, which was fine.
Yeah.
But during school year, they actually cut them off at 10 o'clock. Which, I mean, good idea for them, but it just made kids everywhere, at least the kids I knew and stuff like that, it just made us find different things to do at like 10 o'clock at night. Yeah. Which is not the safest time to be going outside and doing stupid shit.
Yeah. I mean, like, I get where they're coming from. But
yeah, I get the intent, but I feel like it's not going to work out the way they think it's going to work out.
No. Kind of along those same lines, excuse me, China's not the only one that have tried to put, restrictions on games. Actually, even in America, in New York City, back in 1942, pinball machines were banned because they were deemed insidious nickel stealers.
Wow.
I love that term, just insidious nickel
stealer. God, I want to use that as an insult on someone. You insidious nickel stealer.
Yeah, it's like you're so beneath them, you're just stealing nickels. That's it. Oh, that's funny. But so a bunch of other U.S. cities followed suit, and get this: so Oakland didn't reverse that ban until 2014.
Holy shit! So it was illegal that whole fucking time.
6 or 7 years ago. You could not have a pinball machine in Oakland, apparently.
Oh, that's fucking great.
I'd love to see if that was actually enforced. Like some Karen walks into like a bar somewhere and they're like,
"You can't have that.
They have a pinball machine."
I would love to see the officer that actually got called to one is like, "It's the law. You have to remove it." He's just like, "It's a goddamn pinball machine. What the fuck do you want me to do about it? Let the kid play fucking pinball. It's illegal in Cleveland." Then the officer's just like, "I fucking hate my job."
Yeah. Yeah, I would not want to be that cop. That's for sure.
No, if I was that cop, I'd straight up walk out and be like, "Don't you have something better to do than harass kids over a pinball machine?"
There was, I think it said, I can't remember if it was this article or the other one. Yeah, so Germany also had youth protection laws aimed at violent games, push developers to replace realistic red blood with a green version. Which,
Ew.
I mean, I get it. Like,
I mean,
but,
if it's an alien, sure, but I don't want to see green blood coming out of the human like soldier that I'm shooting. That's weird.
no.
I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with him?
Yeah, but I mean, and at the same time,
What the fuck am I fighting? What
Yeah.
the hell?
And we had talked about this in the mental health one, or I think it might have been like the moderation. I think we talked about it like something similar to this, but there's no link to violent behavior with violent video games.
Yeah, there's been studies conducted of it, and there's no feasible link that any researchers or doctors have found between violence and violent video games.
Yeah.
In fact, they found more positives with violent video games than negatives.
Yeah, exactly. Like, they were trying, what was it they were trying to say for a Columbine that, they were playing Mortal Kombat or something?
It was Mortal Kombat and Call of Duty for Columbine.
Was it Call of Duty?
I think I heard Call of Duty. No, Call of Duty was, I think that was Virginia Tech.
That was Virginia Tech. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think Call of Duty was out then.
It wasn't as popular when Columbine happened.
I think it might have just been the first one out at that point. Like it
might have been.
Hang on, what Columbine?
Yeah, we might need to look it up a little bit.
Columbine shooting was 1999.
Yeah, because I remember everybody blaming Marilyn Manson, Mortal Kombat, and I think it was something else.
Yeah, and the first Call of Duty was 2003.
Okay, yeah. So I know they blame Marilyn Manson a lot because
they did blame Marilyn Manson.
Yeah, they were like, metal is destroying our youth mind, and everybody's like, no,
no, we're perfectly functional.
Oh we're God, not... do you remember Manson's statement when confronted with that one?
No.
He literally said, "Yeah, if you don't parent your kids, then they're going to come to me, and I'm going to parent them. But it's not my fault. Maybe you should do your fucking job better." It was fucking great. I was like, the most
Manson response ever.
Yeah, that's pretty much Manson to a T. It was great.
I remember like even in college, I was dating a girl, and she was from a very conservative Christian family, and so like I don't know if I was just like her wild streak or what, but so
you were her wild streak, all right?
Yeah, but because like at the time I had long hair, chain wallet,
right, just the full scene kid. Let's go.
The gauges, like everything, and and I remember she like her mom like Facebook stalked me and told her you can't see him, and so of course that didn't fucking stop us, and so we surprised her mom one day by like. Because like they were going like dress shopping for something, I can't remember what, but like we met them. I think it was like in Appomattox because that's where they lived, and so we just like go to this random thrift store, and her mom meets us there. Didn't know that I was there, and so I just like introduced myself. I was like, "Hey, I'm Sam," and then like and we just talked and like honestly had a lovely conversation. And I just thought like I was in the clear, and then like the next day she was like, "Yeah, no," she said we can't see each other anymore. Damn. I was like, "Really?" Like she met me, she talked to me. She loved me.
Yeah,
I thought.
I remember I dated a conservative girl once, and we were going through the mall just doing high school stupid shit. And then I just up and walk into Spencer's. I was like, I want to check out the belt buckles and stuff because at that time I had the belt where you could do your own custom belt buckles and stuff like that. So I was just walking. I was like, yeah, I just want to check out the belt buckles. She's like, you can't go in there. I was like, why not? She's like, they have sex stuff. I'm like, yeah, and
it was
like I'm not here to
barely
look at
sex stuff. Like it was
barely. It was like a
PG sex stuff. Yeah,
shit.
like it was some of the like just the weakest shit.
Yeah, and I was just like, and I was like, I'm here for belt buckles, not a fucking dildo. What do you think I'm gonna peg myself in the shower? I just walk in, grab a belt buckle, and I was like, here, what this? He's like, all right, little dude. And she was just standing outside the store, would not come in, mortified. It was fucking great. And I just walked out. I was like, got my belt buckle. Want to get some food? She's like, you're so disgusting. I was like, okay,
Damn.
I'm still hungry. You want to get some food? And we got food.
Did she calm
We
down after
broke up.
that? Or?
No, we broke up like 2 weeks after that. Just said, I can't, what's the exact words? I can't date a heathen that won't repent.
Oh, damn.
And I was just like, okay.
Jeez. I kind of tricked my grandma one time because, like, she's not like super conservative, but like, you know, she was like 90 something at the time. So, you know, metal was not exactly in the cards for her.
True.
But, you know, of course, I wore band shirts all the time. And so I was always kind of careful as to what shirts I wore around her. And so most of the time it was a Lamb of God shirt. And because, like, she would see it, like,
get by with that.
because the first time she saw it, she was like, good, and like patted the shirt. I think she was worried that I was like going down a dark pit of despair into Satan's
And meanwhile,
arms.
Sam was just like, yeah, this shirt is anything but that.
Yeah, I was like, and like, it's funny. Even my dad afterwards was like, even if she only fucking knew. And
And Dad was like, I'm not going to say anything, but
yeah,
that was funny as shit.
Well, my dad was kind of the rebel too. So growing up, he wanted a leather jacket, and my grandma and my grandpa at the time were like, no, you can't have a leather jacket. And so he was like, all right. And so he went and bought one and always just kept it at his locker at school. But apparently word got back to him, probably from a teacher, if I had to guess. Or got back to my grandparents, and so they like went to school and like took the leather jacket from
Damn.
him. Yeah, I was like, damn. Like, can you imagine like leather jackets being vilified, like, you know, violent video games?
No.
Like,
Oh my God, that'd be such a different culture.
man.
Like, oh my God, what was it? My mom, she really didn't care about. She just accepted that as long as I got good grades and I wasn't in jail, that I was doing fine.
Yeah.
My dad was a lot more strict. He hated metal music. He hated anime and anything dealing with Japan or Asian countries in general. Not that he was racist. He just didn't like the content, I guess.
Yeah. Well, can you like, from an
I
outside
can't blame
perspective,
him.
yeah, you can't really
I
blame
can't blame
him.
him.
Like, there's some fucking weird shit
There's
going
some
on in
fucked up
Japan.
shit going on over there. Like, I mean, you trap people on the island for 2,000 years, they're going to get some weird ideas.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he didn't like any of that stuff. So whenever I was watching it, he just like, I was watching what was it, DBZ on the computer one day, like with DSL internet. So I had to wait a couple minutes, press play, and then after 1 minute, just do this repeat, rinse and repeat. And he came down, he's just like, you watching those gay ass Japan cartoons again?
Jesus
I was like, yeah. He's like, turn that shit off and watch some real stuff. I was like, okay.
Damn.
So I would have to watch it like the school library. And the first time he caught me listening to metal music, which was, believe it or not, even though I don't like him as much as Joe, Breaking Benjamin.
Oh yeah.
He legit crushed my iPod.
Damn.
Yeah, he was
Breaking Benjamin. Like, Breaking Benjamin's like hard rock. Like,
yeah, honestly, I was just like, this
compared to the
isn't
shit we
even
listen
what I
to
usually.
now.
I was about to say, compared to the shit I listen to now, no.
And I love Breaking Benjamin. Like, you know, Joe is definitely a top tier Breaking Benjamin fan. I'm a little bit below him, but like,
yeah, and I'm on the opposite end of the fucking spectrum.
Yeah. But damn, that's rough.
Yeah, he legit just took it. Just I was just like, I had so much music on there.
Jeez, what's going on, Gary? Gary, I'm sure you've got some interesting stories as to, like, you know, being vilified for being a metalhead. Because
oh yeah, dude, when we were growing up, like being vilified for anime and metal were the two things.
Yep.
It was such a wild, and now it's like normalized somewhat, and I'm just like, I paved the way for that.
I
was like, yeah,
the trendsetter.
You enjoy your anime metal, kids. Yeah, don't get bullied for it. Enjoy it. Which,
exactly.
I mean, no one really tried to bully this 6'2" black dude, but whatever.
Yeah, nobody really ever messed with me in school. Like, I was like the metal kid that like got along with everybody.
Yeah, same here. I kind of got along with everybody, but like the rare instance someone came along and was like not about it, I just looked at them like, do you really want to mess with me?
Gary in chat saying, math teacher saw my eaten back to life Cannibal Corpse shirt in high school and that shit was awkward. Oh man. Anyway, we kind of got a little off track there.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. We
Let's
went
get
down a
back
bit
to
of a rabbit hole.
communism.
Yeah, so yeah, get back to communism. So, in recap, Gary, I'm sure you missed a little bit, but so China has basically banned video games to where you can only play if you're under 18 for an hour a day, only on weekends and national holidays, and which is ridiculous. But so there's of course Tencent and NetEase going with the flow because they're Chinese companies, but
Yep.
they've also lost not quite a bit, but they definitely saw a pretty major dip in shares because of this.
Good.
Because I mean, it only makes sense because like if I'm an investor, right, from the outside looking in,
If I'm only going to get like 3 hours of revenue, why the fuck would I back you?
And then even on top of that, I don't know if it's still in place or not, but they have that $28 to $57 monthly limit.
Yeah.
And so like, it's like, all right, let's do the math. So they can only spend this much amount of time playing. We're only going to get, at max $57 a month from each one, which I mean,
which is unreasonable because it's just like, then you're expecting everyone to pay the maximum amount.
Yeah. And not everyone's going to pay to begin with. Like, some people are just going to sit there and play the game.
And some people are just going to grind it out and get it anyway.
Gary said China keeps shit locked down. Guy I know at work is from China, and dude said it was no joke. Yeah, I mean, and that's kind of the scary part of it is they're so kind of ingrained into all of their infrastructure. I mean, all the like internet and everything is government sponsored. Like you're not getting away with just like slapping a VPN on it.
You're not fucking around when you're in China or Chinese. Like even like government, like for the US, even like government agencies and like federal contractors and everything like that, they have China listed as a kind of a danger zone. Like if you gotta go there, you're getting hazard pay.
Oh really?
Because I mean, it's a communist country and it's direct opposition to the US of A. So yeah, it's not a safe country to be in when you got to work there or go there.
I mean that makes sense.
Because think about it, if you mess up there or break a law unknowingly or something like that, you're getting sent to the gulag or some shit.
Yeah.
And like your government has to come back and be like, hey, that's one of ours. You can't do that to him.
Yeah.
Please give him back. Or him or her or whatever. Like it's funny to me because some people don't understand. When you go to a different country, it's not just your country's rules you have to abide by. You have to abide by their rules. Yeah. And if they're a different political faction or regime or dictatorship or something like that, that means you got to abide by that country's all laws and everything too, no matter what you think about it. So if you do something wrong over there, you're subject to that country's judicial process, which in China's case, there's not really one. It's just off to the gulag with you.
Yeah. Going back to, I was talking about other countries that kind of did this. I forgot to mention Australia actually has sought to ban games for including depictions of everything from assault to marijuana use. So GTA is just a fucking
did that with GTA.
No. Like GTA is like no.
Yeah, I remember that when Australia banned GTA. What was it? I think it was 4 from being sold over there.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, that shit was hilarious. Australia was just like, nah. Even though Australia is literally the most violent and dangerous country in regards to their wildlife and stuff. Not their people, just the wildlife.
Dang, this is crazy. All right, so the World Economic Forum website also has a picture of a graph here, and it was a survey of people aged 18 plus between the 5th of January and the 12th of January on average playtime by country per week. Can you guess who's number one?
I'm gonna guess it's us.
No.
Is it England?
We're not even close to the top. Well, we're like 6th down.
I'm trying to think. Is it like one of the Northern European countries?
I'll give you a hint. We're talking about them right now.
Is it seriously Australia?
No, sorry, China. It's China.
Oh, China.
Yeah.
I was like, oh.
No, Australia is not on the chart, but there's not a ton of them. So like there's one thing that just says global, like which is
I mean, that makes sense. It's China because I mean, they honestly they have the most people in
Yeah.
one central area. So
yeah. So yeah, China has 12 hours a week on average, which is a fair amount.
that's a good bit.
Second, interestingly enough, is Vietnam.
Vietnam.
Vietnam apparently spends 10 hours a week.
I have never encountered like a Vietnamese person playing a game.
I don't think I have either. I mean, they're probably sticking to their own servers because that's hella ping. But
Yeah, true. They're probably doing their own servers and probably playing a lot more like RPG-ish kind of games.
yeah, that or they're playing like European servers, because like the ping won't be as bad, because I know like in Rocket League there's a whole like Middle Eastern movement there where like there's a lot of Middle Eastern dudes that are just coming up out of nowhere being like really fucking good.
Yeah, I saw that and I was just like, how did they even get servers over there?
So they don't really. So they now do. They recently did, but for the longest time they were always just playing on European servers. And so they always had 100 ping plus. And the crazy part is
always lagging.
So they were always lagging, but they've learned to work around it. And so like when they have server advantage, those guys are fucking unstoppable. You can't do anything because like they know when the ball's going to be hit.
Being a lag player,
right?
Oh my god!
Like yeah, and so like yeah, those guys are, and they're to their credit, they are fucking good. Like they're like I haven't seen anything like it.
Oh, I don't doubt because remember the back in the days when we had like DSL and we had to face lag all the time. You legit became a lag warrior, and then when you actually got good shit, you were just like, oh, I'm fucking baller.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Like I remember dealing with lag warriors and stuff like that when I was playing Dark Souls.
Ooh, I'm sure that's not fun.
Oh no, because you'd be like, hey, I'm gonna get this guy, and he just disappeared. Oh, he just backstabbed me, and I'm dead.
He teleported behind me.
Basically, it's just like it's only business.
Yeah, strictly business. And so India comes in at third with 8.6, Indonesia at 8.5, just a general global at 8.4. US comes in after that at 7.7, which I feel like
that's low.
I feel like that's low for us. But I mean, I guess you got to think like there's actually a good amount of people that just don't play video games.
That's true.
Like
but at the same time, like
rarely play video games,
I get Indonesia, but literally all like the top 5 is all Eastern countries.
Yeah. Although it kind of makes sense. Like if we're thinking
population base, yeah.
But I mean, like I'm thinking like just for me myself, I probably play roughly 10 hours a week, like when I'm playing consistently.
Yeah, I would probably say I play about like maybe 6 or 7 hours a week.
Yeah. So like for you're right there on
doing the actual show.
Yeah. But yeah, and I'm including the show, so that's an extra like 2-3 hours.
Okay, well, we're including the show, then yeah, it'd probably be like 8 or 9 for me.
Yeah. Sometimes it's way longer than that. Sometimes it's like 40 hours. But
that depends if I have vacation or not. So
yeah, and then it's UK at 7.1, Germany at 7.1, and South Korea, interestingly, only at 5.8.
Huh. Well, I thought South Korea would have been higher.
Yeah, same. But I mean, kind of going back to what we were saying, it's a culture thing. They're not playing as much. They're typically working, and we're not trying to, just stereotype anything. But
no, I mean it's cultural. It's just cultural. Like Asian culture is work. Like your career before anything else. That's kind of what their culture is.
I'd be interested to see if how some of the larger game manufacturers, so like Activision, EA, are gonna be affected by this, or what they do.
Yeah, I would be interested to see how EA, Ubisoft, and all of them are affected. Don't really give two shits about Activision right now. So
yeah, well, I'm not saying I give a shit about them. What I'm saying is it's interesting
how they're
like because I mean it's like EA, Activision right there at the top, So like you're, like if you have like and technically Activision is like a little bit affected by that because Tencent made the Call of Duty Mobile, and there are microtransactions in that. So
yeah, not to mention like Warzone and stuff like that is very popular over there too. So
yeah,
that's going to affect them. I'll be interested to see the sales and like everything that comes out of that.
And then apparently the regulators, excuse me, are slowing their approval of new online games now that they're kind of
Oh, they
heating
have to
this up.
approve certain games
Yep.
too.
So yeah,
That's even worse.
has to be approved before they'll do anything, like before a video game can even come out. Which,
Wow, that sucks.
yeah, that's stories like this make me appreciate living in America.
I was about to say,
yeah,
when I hear stuff like this, it's like I really like the freedom of person, freedom of being, because that shit. Yeah, no, I wouldn't like that.
no, not at all. Like, because if you think like the odds of being born somewhere else are actually really high.
Yeah, it's
Like,
astronomical.
yeah. So like, I'm very thankful to whatever creator or RNG made me
Whatever
pop out here.
the fuck is out there.
Yeah.
Like, because like I mean, a lot of countries have true freedom and stuff like that, but it's kind of 50-50 on whether you're born in a country with freedom and some form of democracy, or a country with dictatorship, communism, socialism, or whatever.
No. And so I'm on Kotaku, which I was interested to see what they might say, and they have what I think to be a Chinese writer on this, saying there's like, I don't think they're like from like they're American or something, they're not like
Chinese American or something
like a
that?
Chinese American or something like that. Yeah, because they're saying like there's no one size fits all take when you're dealing with millions of diverse gamers, which is exactly what you were touching on earlier. It's like, it depends on the game. Like, yeah, you can get away with, like an hour of Rocket League, for example,
like an hour of Apex or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Cause you're getting multiple matches in, but then, any kind of large, diverse open world game.
Yeah. Imagine me trying to fit in a Doom Eternal session in an hour. Like, that's not going to happen.
Dang. So China actually has a pretty lucrative esports industry as well. And
so how does that work when they're limiting minors? Like, wouldn't that be a decrease of like esport competitors?
I don't know, to be honest.
Well, I guess it's only just been implemented, so they won't see those effects for a while.
Let's see. According to the regional governments like the city of Shanghai are very supportive of both the esports and game development industries. For a company like MiHoYo, which ranked 88th among all Shanghainese companies in terms of income, its tax contribution is an important part of the local economy. At the national level, the Ministry of Education started categorizing esports management as an official major in 2016. So like they're...
Okay, but Shanghai is kind of a special case, isn't it? Because isn't Shanghai like different from the rest of China?
But I think it's kind of like it's like Hong Kong, but not being separate. Like, so like there's, I don't think they're
like Taiwan, but inland.
But I think they're still technically like they're fully part of China. Like, but I think they just have a lot more like British influence since.
Okay, so they got a lot more like Western influence and like leeway when it comes to this stuff.
I think in chat in the YouTube comments, if we're wrong, definitely roast us, but or just let us know. But
we're not out here being history or geographical majors. We don't know. We're just going off of info we know.
Yeah, I like history a lot. There's a lot of fucking history to know, and I can't know all of it. So
exactly, history is fun to know, especially since it helps you not make the same mistakes that they did back in history.
Let's see. I'm kind of skimming this article. It's a long article. It's very interesting. I was
about to say, you might want to link that in chat.
Yeah,
because that sounds like a good article to read and professionally written too.
Yeah, it is a very, very long article, but they're definitely talking about like all the different, points of this, which, it's a lot. To be fair, like,
I mean, when you got something this overarching and when the ban is this overarching and doesn't consider the specific genres, video games, ages of the players, mental health, and all that stuff, yeah, there's going to be a lot to talk about.
Oh, it's not even a law. It's an industry regulation recently passed by the National Press and Publication Administration in China.
Ew, that's even worse.
As a parallel example, imagine that you're an American company that wants to dump radioactive waste into a lake, and the Environmental Protection Agency said that you can't do that. Regulations are specific rather than broadly applied to a populace. The NPPA is a government regulatory branch that oversees print, online, and broadcast media more broadly, that has sole purview over digital games. That's yeah. Under the regulations, gaming companies are tasked with preventing minors from accessing their games during certain times, and to boot players after they run out of their allotted time.
Wow, so they're actually putting timers in the games themselves.
Apparently, Jingtong Zhu, a publishing manager at a Chinese gaming company, told Kotaku that Chinese games have previously been restricted to an hour and a half on weekdays and 3 hours on weekends and holidays. So the latest mandate is an extreme tightening of government regulations that have already existed since 2019. So that's going back to the thing I was talking about earlier.
Oh, wow. So they really can't play games much at all then.
No, like that's.
I mean, even before this one, they couldn't play that much. How the fuck do they keep getting so good then?
I mean,
the fuck?
Sometimes it's just a natural thing, but also, like, you know, when kids start playing something, they get very good at it, and Rocket League is a perfect example of that. Because I can't. So there are 12-year-olds that. So Psyonix, and now I guess by extension Epic Games, have a cap at 15, or like a minimum of 15 to be part of any of the money-winning tournaments, like the official ones at least. But there are 12-year-olds that like are far outclassing a lot of the pros, which is terrifying. Because
that honestly does. I mean, good for them, but also at the same time, holy shit, kid.
Yeah, because I have like, and you can, and it's crazy because like you can see, like, I have well over 1,000 hours in Rocket League. There are kids with far less hours that are way better than me, and it's just you know, a young brain just really soaks up anything that gets thrown at it, and it pisses me off because I want to be good at the game, and then I get like destroyed, and then some kid comes over with a mic, you suck.
I run across that a lot in fighting games too. So
yeah, well, we've all run across that, especially like in Call of Duty, right? Like you get that trash talking 10-year-old that's just like saying expletives, and
you're just like, shut the fuck up, kid.
Yep.
You don't even have a mortgage. I don't want to hear you.
It's not even that. You don't even have like a cell phone.
Bro, you don't even have pubic hair yet. Shut the hell up.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Anyway,
I wonder how Epic's will respond to this, because China's one of the major benefactors or backers, isn't it?
I don't know if China themselves, but I mean, I think there's a lot of Chinese players on Fortnite.
Oh, that, like, and like a lot of Chinese companies have like benefactored them.
Oh, do they? I don't know. I'm sure there's probably some like venture capitalist companies that have, you know, slung them some money for a return on whatever their investment was.
I don't know. I'm just interested to see how this tightening on regulations is going to pan out for all the companies and stuff like that.
Yeah. But anyway, I think we've talked about as much as we can talk about with this. And so,
considering it's a regulation, ain't much you can do about it. You can only talk about it. But I mean, well, we can talk about it. People in China and stuff like that cannot.
Yeah, no, they can't say shit about it, because otherwise they're getting a one-way ticket to the concentration camp.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not called that anymore. It's called a work camp. So
that's just a fancy way of saying concentration camp.
It's exactly politically correct work camp or concentration camp.
Ugh, no, it's horrible. That's why I hate people that just take for granted the freedoms that we have over here, and like in Canada and stuff like that. Like, yeah, you know what? If you do something illegal, you may get a fine, you may get sent to jail, but at least you're not sent to like 10 years hard labor or some shit for like breaking a finger on the owner's stall or some shit.
Or there's like that kid in North Korea. Remember, they like took down a poster or something like that, or defaced a poster.
Yeah.
And like basically, and like they were like, all right, he's gonna be sentenced to death. Like, I was like,
yeah, it's like he just took down a poster. Like, at most, that's like what, vandalism. And like they're like, to the concentration camp with you, to death. It's like, Jesus Christ.
I think that was more a political move than anything. It was like North Korea was like, fuck you, America. But
I was just like, oh my god.
Anyway.
Those countries and stuff like that, not fun to live in.
Yeah. In summary, China, I get where you're coming from. I get it.
But that's
But
not
you're
how you go
going
about it.
the wrong way.
Yeah, you do not have, and just like the Kotaku article writer said, there is not a one size fits all solution for millions of diverse gamers. Probably billions. Like, let's be fair, but
I mean, at that point, yeah, we're talking about China, so billions is probably
it
more
can
accurate.
very easily be that. But I mean, it's just like just stop it.
Get some help.
Get some help. I hope Joe throws that in there. He probably won't, but
Yeah, we'll see.
we're probably already getting demonetized because you're in the episode. So
Yeah, well,
yeah. Anyway,
I accept
YouTube,
my place.
Twitch, thank you so much for watching. Do not forget, subscribe, like, follow. I'm not good at this part, but we need to talk about something real quick. Joe had mentioned it yesterday. You guys probably know we have this lovely little thing called the challenge series that we do.
The challenge series.
Yep. And the last one we wanted to do was Madden. Unfortunately, we couldn't do that. However,
Fuck you, EA.
yeah, fuck you, EA. D-Sense, what's going on, dude? But next month, next month. I couldn't remember what month it was. Next month, we're going to be running Rocket League again. So that was our very first challenge series. This is the redemption arc.
Where we won't fuck up half as bad.
We won't. Well, hopefully, because it's still up in the air there. Because Rocket League's tournament servers aren't very good. We think we've got to work around with that, but we are doing Rocket League again. Although this time, instead of doing 3v3, we're doing 2v2. And so if you and a buddy, or just you, or you and a bunch of buddies want to come and play Rocket League for a chance to win. I don't know what I'm going for there. I was trying to say win and earn at the same time. That's what it was. To win or earn. I think we're doing 100 smackaroos. We haven't said 100 like 100% officially yet, but we're dropping some cash money on this for whoever the winner is.
Dumpies on y'all.
Yep. So if you are wanting to play, even just to have fun, there's no like rank requirement for this. This is just come in, have a blast, hang out with us, hang out with the chat, hang out with the community. And we're also going to have some other prizes there. And Anderson, we say this every time, but nobody ever believes us. How much does it cost to get into this?
Nothing. It's absolutely free.
Nothing at all. You do not have to pay. Yeah, you do not have to pay anything to get into this. All you have to do, click the link down in the description for the Discord and message Joe. Joe will have a sign-up sheet for you. And preferably if you can come with a teammate, that would make our lives a whole lot easier. So
it would.
Yeah. So
don't bother messaging me or Sam. We don't deal with the whole officialness of it.
I will forward you to Joe.
Technology and toxicity.
Yeah. So toxicity department, technology department. Joe is the people department. So
yeah, he's HR.
Yeah, he's HR. He really is fucking HR.
He's the one that regulates the rest of us.
Yeah. But definitely go click the link for the Discord, sign up. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to this. I think I might bring back the desk. I'm not sure, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see what the budget looks like on this one. But again, thank you very much for everybody coming in and tuning in to our China discussion. And hope that you all enjoy. If you like what you see, make sure you hit the subscribe button, like the video, punch the bell. Nobody ever told us if it was a bronze bell. I'm looking it up real quick. I gotta know.
Please do. I don't know if it's bronze or copper.
Bell, but
I feel like it's a mix.
Liberty Bell. Wait, made of bronze. So bronze is copper and tin together, technically.
Okay, so it is a mixture, but it's mainly
I knew
bronze.
that from RuneScape because I'm an elite gamer. Because that's like smithing, like level 2.
I was about to say that's smithing 101 right there. Just mixing copper and tin to make bronze. Oh shit, I remember that shit from Skyrim.
Yeah, but punch the bell, as Anderson said, or don't, because we're not your parents. I'm just going. I'm going for the middle of the road. I'm not going gender here. So.
All right, fine. You ain't gotta call me out like that.
I'm not calling you out. I'm just saying that you said mom once, you said dad once. I'm just going right in the middle. I'm not.
Hey, I hate everyone equally. Everybody gets their shot.
Yep. Mm-hmm. We're an equal opportunity hater. So.
Yes.
Anyway, thanks again so much for watching. We will catch you